Hello everyone! It's time to make some specimen cards, and I have been taking a long time to make this video, but here I am doing it finally. So I'm going to move these cards out of the way. The first one, I've got multiple different ways to do it, and I'm going to try to do this quickly. I'll show you a couple ways to do it, and then I'll show you some examples that I've made. So this first one, I have some packaging from, I think, a stamp set, and I've cut down this packaging to just under 3 inches wide by 4 inches high because I want to accommodate a window for this die cut piece. Now this die cut piece, I've taken some Spellbinders die cut pieces. This one is symmetrical. That's the thing that you want to look for if you want both sides to show. So I've matched it up, glued it together, and then this one is a laminated one. You can see, and it's a similar look if you have packing tape and you just put packing tape on one side and then on the other side, but I have a laminator, so I've laminated a bunch of them to sandwich them in, and that's going to be my window. Now on the card I need to cut a window to hold it. So first thing, I think I'm going to use some repositionable adhesive here so that my two cards stay together and I can just cut once. And I need to find the center of my little piece, so it should be pretty close to 1.5. Make sure these guys stay there, and that looks like the center. I want my window to be about a 1/2 inch from the top starting, and let's see, and maybe, whoops, did I get off center here? Yes I did, just slightly. So this one, and I need it to be at least 2¼ inches to fit this plastic. So half of 2¼ inches is 1 1/8, I believe. And since I've got my centering feature here, now if you don't have a centering ruler, you would just go with the 2 1/4 inches, but since I've already got this in place here, I'm gonna make a line to 1 1/8 here on both sides, which would equal 2 1/4. And then I can, from here, go down 2 1/4. Oops, that was more of an engraving or an embossing than a pencil mark there. 2 1/4. I don't think my lead was touching my paper, but that's okay. And I will just connect this here. And then I'm still going to use this ruler because it has a metal edge. Very carefully here, I'm going to cut this window out, and I'm going to use this little blade here. So for me, I think the most important thing here is not to move my ruler too much. And it doesn't have to be perfect, just going for, I think that's hopefully cut through both sides, but we'll see. Scissors. I'm going to take my paper scissors to get the rest of this out. Okay, I got them apart finally. I have some edges I need to clean up here. Now this was particularly tough because I'm using packaging, so this is like lightweight chipboard almost, so depending on what you're using, if you're using cardstock, it's not going to be as difficult to do this method, but for me, who struggles with straight lines, this is probably the more difficult method as far as getting it straight. There's a little wonkiness there, but that's okay. At this point, let me see if this fits in here. Pretty good. I'm going to take my double stick tape and just tape up this side. Make sure that's really well stuck down. Alright, now I'm just going to remove the tape around the outside of the window. And I kind of want the wider part on the bottom. I think that's what looks nice. So I'm going to try to center my dragonfly and then get that pressed down securely. And now I can take the rest of my tape off. The trick here that helps me align it is to take off just a corner of the tape here, and get this one. That way I can still work with it a little bit. That's going to be tricky because it's partly underneath my laminated window, but so maybe I'll pull it down just a little further. And I'm going to use glue in the places where I don't have tape. Okay, here goes. Now it's time to try to line it up. So I've got a good corner there to go on, and I'm going to get up here because hopefully my head won't get in the way, but I need to see from above because I also don't want the background showing in the window. And if you get off a little, you can always trim your edges. I think I'm committing to that placement there. And then I get these lovely curly backing papers. Alright, that is it for this one. Now, nice thing about using this packaging was it's pretty, and I don't really need to decorate it much. So there are some choices you can make at this point. I think I want to just try to round these edges. That'll hide a little bit of my imperfect cutting. And then decorate, it's pretty simple. This is from a recent, somewhat recent, Your Creative Studio box. I love these little, this is actually what inspired me to start doing the specimen cards, because they look like little specimens. So I think I'm going to put one of these on here, but I feel like it's a little bit lonely by itself. I also have some of these stickers from Your Creative Studio, so maybe a couple of these would be nice. I don't want to cover up too much of the pretty pattern, but that looks kind of nice. And then I have some stamp postage stamp stickers, but these are a bit big, I think. I'm thinking it's a little bit big. And then I had this die that kind of cuts this postage stamp look. So I'm thinking maybe one of these. Let me see. Whoops, that's moving around too much. This is too big. I also have a vellum one. Would that be nice? That is nice. I kind of like the vellum one. So let me just stick some of these down because they're moving around like crazy. This is a sticker. Yay! Easy. Boy, am I making a mess here. Kind of want it at an angle. Anything that hangs over, I can just trim off, and then the head lose everything. This one here. That's going to stick very nicely. Now I could use my tiny attacher here and just staple it. Maybe I'll do that. Let me grab it. And just, I think right, I don't know, am I staying in frame here? Sometimes I like to do two to just make a, focus camera, there we go, to make like a little X. That's just for aesthetic reasons. And then of course it's showing on the back here, so sometimes I like to cover that up, and I'm not really interested in decorating the back a whole lot. Do I have something handy? Ooh, whoops. I kind of like these gold. These are, I don't know where this came from, but a little flash of gold on there. That's just going to be the back side of my card. It's a little bit too much gold. for me, right? Or white, what am I saying, gold? I have a little bit of ink left on this foam, so we're just going to knock that back a bit. Might as well go around the edges. And that is it for the first specimen card idea. I'm going to show you just an example of similar. It's this, you do it the same way, except that instead of cutting the window out of both sides, you're only cutting the window out of the top half. That way it can flip open. And for this one, I haven't really decorated it, so I could add, you know, some decorative paper behind. I don't have something handy. And then, you know, you decorate it the same way, but you can stick it in a pocket in the journal, and there you could make this writing space, so it's a little more functional in a journal for that method. So that is another way to do it. Now, I have this one here, which I've actually turned into almost a shaker card. These are kind of loose in there. It doesn't shake too much because there's not a lot of room. It's not dimension. But this one I took this Spellbinders die cut, and I must have bought an extra pack since I have 4 of them. But yeah, they come with 2 in the pack, so it comes with these 2. Take this part out. And for this one, what I used was actually just packaging from the, like a stamp set, acetate type packaging. So first I put the packaging down to this edge. Then I put my things in the middle, and I also put packaging down on this edge, and then I sandwiched the 2 together. I don't want to go into doing that right now, but that is another method. And I have, why don't we go into a very easy way here. Here is, this is a tiny coin, what is this called? Coin protector sleeve? I'm not sure what it's officially called, but I think this is to hold dimes, this one. So you can't fit a whole lot in the middle bit there. That's the one I had on hand. And then I bought, what do they call this? Let's see, on Amazon, coin flip. Perfect protection for your treasure. Yeah, okay. I'm not sure what it was called when I was looking in Amazon. This is a 40mm. I think this is meant to hold, yeah, that looks like a gold dollar. So I don't have a whole lot of gold dollars to put in there, but I thought the bigger window would be easier for specimen cards. And so I have one started here. I have a couple started, actually. This one is finished. For this one, I've just used a piece of double stick tape to hold this vellum piece in there. And then I can go ahead, I think I like it just like that, so go ahead and put some more tape around the edges to hold this closed. Let us add a drop of glue to each of these corners. I'm gonna push outward so that glue doesn't seep into my window. Oh, and also when I stamped this with pigment ink because it's a little bit of a kind of, I don't know, plasticky surface. That has had time to dry, so that's really important if you're going to do pigment ink. Give it time to dry. And then look at how cute that is. I think I'll leave this guy just like this. I might add something later, but what a cute owl. And then you can kind of see the reverse because it's vellum. So what should we put in this one? Is it dry enough? That's a good question to ask. Do I have, yeah. Let me just see if it is dry enough. Here's a good way to check. Doesn't look like anything's coming off or smearing, so that's good. I already smeared it, you can kind of see there, but oops. Boy, that one doesn't want to bend. Okay. Yeah, gentle. It does still smear slightly. So definitely more time is better on that one. Oh, wait, I have a butterfly here. These are planner stickers. And so any sticker that's really symmetrical, you can stick to itself to be able to see the back side. And with these window ones, I kind of like to be able to see the back side. So I'm going to stick those two in there, but oops, don't do that. I feel like they need something else. Okay, so I had to have a second to find what I did with my tiny flowers, and I have them in this little baggie. So let's just see if we can't get a couple flowers to throw in there. Well, that one has, I kind of want to use the gold or the metallic ones because then they're double-sided. Should I throw another one in there? How about, ooh, little pink heart. Now that one's not double-sided, but okay. Set those on there. And then I need to tape it up. I guess that's going to be the front. So I will try to keep, you know, maybe I should have put the tape on before putting all the little guys in. Alright, I think that's good, and I'm tired of messing with this tape, so some more help here. My wonky little pick. Here goes nothing. Alright, I think it's, just to protect that, this is another way to protect that ink, because my finger oils might activate the pigment ink, so, you know, pressing it down with the paper is helpful. And here is how this looks, and yeah, they're not really moving around, so those things are staying put. Now to finish this one off, what do you think about a word? I'm getting so much messier that I can hardly move around, but I've got a box of lovely sentiments here. Maybe we can find something that would look nice on there. I don't know, that one's just speaking to me. It's got pretty good adhesive on it, so, and this is also from a Spellbinders kit. Puffy word, I believe. Not sure which one. And voila! This one's done, I think. Now, I had another method. Where did I put it? Ah! Okay, I had to do a little searching because I misplaced something. But we had these items in a recent Your Creative Studio box, and my idea for this one was to take something much easier, a die, to cut out the center. So first of all, I'm just going to get these two to line up and be together with some repositionable adhesive. And then I have just a kind of a rectangle die, and I'm going to eyeball a centered placement. It's not going to be perfect because this window has more room, and actually, yeah, I think that's good. I'm not going to overthink it. I've got a little mini die cutter here, which is handy for desktop die cutting in a pinch. It's a little bit out of frame here, but let me run it through. Looks like it's cut through both pieces, and whoop, there we go. These pieces I could just keep for scraps. So take my little, and we have a window. Yay! So I'm gonna set this one aside for a moment and show you. I've already done it here. And I am going to go with the double stick tape because it's nice and easy. And again, this is similar. Once I had my window for that first one we made, it's pretty much a similar method here. So I'm going to get close to the window. Then I have, again, the symmetrical die cut piece that is sandwiched between laminating. Pressing that down, and I suppose I don't even have to, I can just do glue. Let's see how this works. Actually, I will put a little more double stick tape along the plastic part because I don't know how well it will adhere, the glue, or how fast. Get this off. There's a little bit of paper there showing. So let me grab, I'm going to line up my bottom piece. Try to. That looks pretty close. So here's this one. Pretty simple. The other side. And I'm not going to embellish that any further right now. And then we'll go ahead and do this one. Okay, this one I am going to try to get the window lined up. Yeah, pretty good. This is a little bit sticking out, but I can trim that. Or one of my other favorite methods of hiding a uneven, connection would be just to ink it up once it's dry. And then you can't tell that it's not perfectly even. Lastly, before we go, I wanted to show, I have an, oops, oh man, gotta be careful bending these coin cards. I wanted to show one other method. So I have these vellum ones, which are great if you want to see both sides. We did that. I also pulled out some clear stickers and some washi stickers. Now, I believe, yeah, these are both from, I don't know if these, maybe these are from your creative studio. I think this, I like this floral one here, so let me grab this. Maybe I'll try to do a combination. So I'm gonna maybe put this on the right side, and the stuff that hangs off I can trim off. So that's what it looks like so far. And it's not perfectly clear on the other side with the washi, but it's nice. And ooh, whoops. I like that fern one, so I think I'll do that one and maybe a smaller fern. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. No, that would be a big wrinkle. I don't want a big wrinkle. Let me see. There we go. Can't really see that guy too much. But look at that. It's kind of cute. I'm always, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm always switching between tools. My fingers, these guys, this here. But you know, this little dollar store poker tool, though it's already bent, is actually kind of nice for taking tape off. And it has this little, this end, which you can almost use like a bone folder. Why don't I use this more often? Because I'm always switching things. But actually, yeah, it's quite handy. Small And I guess it's $1.25 now, but it came in a 2-pack. So, yeah, that was a handy purchase. Where's my paper? I want to press this down without ruining things. And that is that one. Whoops, let me come back and show you all the ones that I made and made on camera. We have the Your Creative Studio pages here that we die cut out with a rectangle die. Pretty handy. Then we have coin collector windows. Those are super easy and fun. And then we have just the traditional, oh, I didn't realize that shows through, darn. Well, that's okay. Window that we cut out with an X-Acto knife. Now this one is just solid, but there's also the kind that you can make more useful, more practical. And if you have a square die, you could use the die to cut out of just the top flap, you know, you score this part. I love that one. I think it's a lot more practical. Here's this one for journaling, and you can use kind of a neutral paper here. I haven't decorated that side. If you want to be able to write on it, or it can be decorative. This one. This one I did out of a double-sided paper cardstock, and then used a different one behind the butterfly, so you can see it the background there. And then this, you know, you could knock it down to write on it, or you could put a picture there, and you can always write on that. Great for journaling. Then there's this one with some dictionary page behind. I like that look a lot. And then finally, this is another one where it doesn't have an open flap, but I used the packaging to make the frame here. Oh, and one more. We had some die-cut frames from a Spellbinders kit that I inked up and used some packaging and made this one almost a shaker, although it doesn't move around too much, but things are not permanent in where they're placed. You can kind of move things down a little. And yep, that's it. Lots of things used from Your Creative Studio, some Spellbinders stuff. I hope you enjoy seeing these ideas for specimen cards. I have a lot of butterflies and things, but I tried to include some other options, and I really like this owl one. He's pretty cool. So I think I'll be making more of these in the future, and I hope you do too. I hope you're inspired to make some and try some and use your stash and scraps in that way. As always, have a wonderful and creative day. Thanks for watching. Bye!